And that is how you say, where are the toilets in Gwalandrolorian? Next week's Gwalandrolorian lesson, I'll tell you how to ask Uela Stad.
Uela Stad!
Which, of course, translated to English is, welcome to Big Damn Cast. My name is Christopher... I failed at every language. Johnson?
And my name is Donde está la biblioteca? How are you all?
Oh, good. Good to hear. Good to hear. We are here with special guest Minnie the Small Chihuahua.
She's basically asleep.
Oh.
Not quite yet, but more or less.
Essentially, your existence in this house tires her out in a really nice way. She gets so excited that she passes out within 20 minutes.
She gets so excited and I get very nibbled.
Yeah. Well, you are delicious.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice nibble.
Oh, wow. That's my baby.
I'm
That's
not
my furry daughter you're referring to.
Christopher!
Yes?
What are we talking about today?
I don't fucking know.
I know exactly what we're talking about. That's why you keep me around. We are going to dig into Jordan Peele's new opus, the first part of the Year of the Peele.
Yes.
We are going to dig into Us. You'll have seen our little video review on YouTube. That's spoiler-free. We're going to dig deep on spoilers today, here, on this show. We're going to catch up on some of your emails that we haven't got to over the last couple of weeks. But first,
Butts.
bit of news.
Aye?
So, Cocker.
What has occurred in the pop culture landscape?
So, you know this little movie that's coming out in a couple of weeks called Avengers Endgame?
A Art House thing. Yeah, so
Yeah,
part
yeah.
2 of the part 1. They did
Yeah. They released 32 new posters for it.
Yes, they did.
Some of which seem to confirm previously unknown information about who did and didn't survive the snap, and also who isn't appearing in this movie.
Yeah.
So apart from all the usual suspects, basically we've got two sets of posters. We've got one set in full colour, which are the people who did survive the snap, and one set in black and white, who were the lost. And the tagline is "Avenge the Fallen."
Yeah, they're Avengers. Yeah. He said it. He said it.
Some conspicuous, still conspicuously missing, actually, are what was her name? Nakia and M'Baku.
Yeah, now, Nakia I kind of get because she wasn't in part 1, so you don't want to highlight it per se, but there are a few characters here that weren't in part 1, but that we had been told had shot stuff for part 1, which implies that they have shot stuff for part 2 as well. M'Baku, though, you see him at the end of Infinity War. He's looking out over the others being snapped away.
Yeah.
But maybe he doesn't play a role in part 2, and that's why he's not there. So I kind of get that. Like maybe M'Baku is not in part 2 of the film, which is fair enough.
But
he was a beautiful little cherry on top of the Wakanda fight. Like he and the Border Tribe literally rock up at the last second, join in, and then just add to the numbers. So it's like fair enough. But yeah, so some who did not survive the snapping that were
I don't think there are
suggested in interviews and press but not confirmed on film have now been confirmed. Specifically, Shuri. Shuri did get snapped.
is among the fallen.
Yeah.
Along with her brother T'Challa. Among the living
Happy Hogan. Pepper Potts.
And Valkyrie.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Maybe she delivers the final blow, and it's just she drops a vodka bottle on Thanos' head. Just like I just rocked up last second. I've gone back to being drunk.
More Tessa Thompson Valkyrie, please.
Yes.
So yeah, that movie's like 3 weeks away now.
Yeah. Oh god. As of the release of this podcast, it'll be about just under 4 weeks from release.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm so jazzed.
Oh my! I'm so jizzed.
I'm so jazzed.
I get back from a job in Manchester. I get back to Manchester from a job the afternoon of Endgame coming out. So
26th of April.
I'm in two minds about whether to get an early train, see it, then meet Lucy after work and go and see it again, or whether or not I just have breakfast in Glasgow, or I'll take my time, get a midday train, and then see it once in the evening. We'll see.
So down.
I cannot wait. But yeah, it's an interesting campaign because a lot of people have said Loki's in the Fallout, but Loki wasn't in the Snap.
Yeah, but neither was Gamora.
Neither was Gamora, but then by that logic, where's Heimdall? I'll tell you why that's happening. Heimdall's definitely dead, guys. Loki is appearing in the film.
Yes.
And Gamora will totally come back because she's
yes.
she's connected to the stones. If everything is reset to a degree in relation to the gauntlet.
If everyone who disappeared in the Snap didn't come back. And there's plenty of time to do that because apparently this movie's 3 hours long.
Yeah. Well, the last one was, I think, just under 2.5.
Yeah.
And that was after they decided to trim some stuff out.
But they didn't. I think
just for the flow of it. They thought that for the flow it needed to drop a couple of scenes, and those were, by the sound of it, the opening set on the Asgardian ship, the half that were left alive evacuating or being allowed to leave,
which would have included Valkyrie.
So yeah, because that's the thing. Like he talks about, I got to my ship, killed half of my people, and obviously when you see the opening scene of Infinity War, you're like, everybody's dead except for Thor and Loki. What's going on? Yeah, it's because everybody was descended upon. Half of them killed. The half that were left alive were presumably allowed to leave or made to then leave because Thanos knew he was going to waste the ship, possibly.
And if I were Thor, I would have made Valkyrie go with the rest of the Asgardians to make sure they're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't have been up to Thor. It would have been up to whoever Thanos didn't round up in a corner.
Of course.
Yeah. Fair, impassionate. Fair? I mean, you murdering people, you dick.
Perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
I'm really looking.
I'm jazzed. And I love the fact we've seen, aside from his hand in one trailer, fuck all of Thanos. Because it's making you wait. You're going to have to come see the film if you want that payoff.
And also what he's going to be up to in this.
Yeah.
And what they're going to try and do to take him down.
His children are gone. He is on his own in a self-imposed exile, retired essentially, like living out the remainder of his days away from everyone.
Yeah, because we've seen the scarecrow of his armor, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's that whole thing of like, what will you do? And he's like, I can finally relax, and and sigh relief whilst looking out in a grateful universe.
I'm going to make wicker furniture.
I'm going to learn banjo.
But I won't have to make sofas as big as I used to because there's half the people to sit on them.
Well, that happens in... It's not an Infinity Gauntlet, I don't... No, it is an Infinity Gauntlet.
What?
You see an image of it in Infinity Gauntlet. You see him talk about what he'll do when it's all said and done.
No,
and you see him, like, literally just running a fucking cornfield.
It's the end of Infinity Gauntlet.
It is Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, he's a farmer.
Okay.
Because that's where the armor scarecrow image comes from.
Yeah. I'm sure it's expanded on in another Thanos work where like it shows him living out those days.
But later on, it shows him turning back on it and becoming evil Thanos again.
Yeah, of course, because he helps reverse things in Infinity Gauntlet.
Not Infinity Gauntlet, in Infinity. That's how Infinity Gauntlet ends, but I think
Yeah.
it's Infinity War. I think he comes back, or Infinity Crusade.
Yeah, Infinity War,
one of them.
which they re-released in trade paperback last year, obviously to coincide with the title being the same.
Stop
and
it!
has nothing to do with it aside from Thanos is involved and Adam Warlock's in it, which again is a tie into Infinity Gauntlet. I don't know. What are the best Thanos stories? For me, Thanos Rising. The prequel story about him going from like being born to becoming the Mad Titan.
Where he turns up
I think it might be Jason Aaron. It's really good.
I think it is. Where he turns up early on in Iron Man or Avengers and he's got his name on his helicopter. He's got a helicopter with his name
his name on it. Fuck yeah. And Infinity, if you read the whole thing, Infinity is really good.
He's pretty good in Annihilation.
The Jonathan Hickman Avengers, New Avengers, and Infinity. That's really good. Annihilation. Which one's Annihilation?
It's the one they started to sort of reimagine, like reboot the cosmic end of the Marvel universe. So it's they revisited Nova and made him the only Nova again.
Yeah.
And he's got to band all the cosmic characters together to face off Annihilus's annihilation wave. And
Annihilus is the Fantastic Four villain from the Negative
the
Zone.
bug dude.
Yeah. With the big old wings.
And Drax is a part of it as well, because one of the subplots is Drax wanting to kill Thanos.
Which is
he
where...
does, in fact, in the course of Annihilation.
Is he Drax at that point? Or is he the Destroyer still?
No, he's the Drax.
With his weird costume.
He's the modern Drax.
And his broken caveman dialogue.
Yes. No, this is post the mini-series which made him into modern Drax.
Okay.
Reimagine
I also like the short-lived title Avengers Assemble. From
the first act that Bendis did on... Because Bendis only did the first act.
With Bagley. I read the first two trades. They were both pretty good.
Yeah.
They were sort of hey, if you don't know anything about the wider continuity, that's cool. Here's an Avengers book.
Yeah.
Come and read it. It's starring a lineup of the six you know from the movie you just saw in cinemas this summer, guys. It's 2012. Did we mention it's 2012? And Thanos is the villain of the first book.
And then
and it's a neat little sort of, hey, did you wonder who the guy was after the credits, but you don't know comics? Come and read a story about it. It was pretty cool.
And then Kelly Sue DeConnick took off.
Do you want to take the dog out of the room?
No.
Matt's okay with my dog, but he's allergic to her joy, and she's in a happy mood.
She's in a sleeping mood at the moment. She's sleeping up next to me.
Don't think about how comfy she is. It'll make you sneak cushions.
But yeah, Kelly Sue DeConnick took over after that, and it was a pretty good book. But it was kind of in the shadow of Hickman's Avengers.
Because that was when Infinity was going up, wasn't it, at that point?
Hickman's coming back to Marvel to take over X-Men.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you want water, by the way? Would water help flush your system?
No, I'm good.
Would Hickman coming back to take over X-Men flush your system? Can he take over X-Men for a bit and then team up with Dan Slott to do a Fantastic Four event?
I don't want Hickman to go back to Fantastic Four.
Do you think that Golden Age exists in its bubble universe?
Hickman and Dan's Fantastic Fours are very different.
Both very enjoyable.
So good. So very, very good.
I think I only ended up getting one volume of Hickman's Fantastic Four in the end. I want to get more. I picked it up in Germany while I was waiting for a flight. I found a comic book store and most of the stock was in English. Oh, nice. So I picked up volume, I think, 1 of Hickman's run on FF.
Hickman's is more cerebral. It's like his Avengers. It's cerebral and sort of epic in scope.
Oh god, the Council of Reeds.
Yeah. And the emotion of it... The emotion of it comes from the grandeur of it.
It's weird to think that inspired something else in pop culture.
I know,
that people
right?
Probably know more familiar with.
And then, Dan's Fantastic Four so far. I mean, again, it's only 7 issues in. Is very much more the family dynamic book.
It reminds me of what I've read of Dan's. I think I've read the first 2. I'm waiting for the trades. It reminds me of the Lee Kirby sort of sense of fun and adventure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it also reminds me of who was writing it in the late 90s or 2000s when Mike Maringo was on...
Mark Waid.
Mark Waid. Yeah. That kind of, again, just sort of... This is kind of dark in places,
but
it's told in a really bright, fun package.
In terms of Fantastic Four runs, way off topic here, but we'll get back.
That's fine.
In terms of Fantastic Four runs,
if you like Avengers movies, go and read a Fantastic Four book.
The
books are amazing.
The big sort of well-regarded areas of Fantastic Four: Lee and Kirby, John Byrne, Wade and Wirango.
I love Wade and Wirango's run.
Hickman.
Yeah. And
now Dan Slott's taken over, so...
Is it weird that I don't like John Byrne in all of his work?
No.
I only really enjoyed him, some of his Superman, which is ridiculous, but I enjoy it.
I don't like all of Bendis' stuff. Like, I don't think Bendis was a particularly good fit for X-Men, and I think he was a really bad fit for Guardians.
I think he was pretty good for all new X-Men. I kind of dug that. But I think it's because he can handle the teenage superhero thing really well.
Yeah, but I don't think his Guardians was good.
Yeah, I read the first 20 of that, and I found myself... I found that was when I was like, I've got a bit more disposable income. So we're spending like 20 quid a week on comics. And that was one of those books where by the next Wednesday, I hadn't devoured it yet. Like it was still sat to the side. I just didn't have the urge to keep reading. And then it started Black Vortex and all the bloody Venom shit started. And I was like, I'm just so bored now.
I've liked his Superman stuff.
Oh, it's the Venom symbiote, but it's on Groot. What's that gonna look? Oh, it's a black Groot with a freaking white spider on it. Okay. Oh no, it's on Rocket. What's that gonna? A black rocket with a white spider on it. Yeah, we get it. Okay.
I've liked his Superman stuff, but
the only time
that's
that's ever interested me is the Daniel Way Venom miniseries event. I really enjoyed that, and what Dan Slott did at the end of his Spidey run with the Red Goblin. That's the only time.
See, I'm not too excited.
Symbiotes getting involved with other characters has been remotely interesting to me.
Yeah.
Oh, and when Mark Miller did Venom being handed over to that mobster's son in the Marvel Knights run. That was fun. Because it just leaves him mid-leap. Just goes, I'm sorry, Angelo, you just don't have enough venom. And just detaches from his body as he's leaping between buildings. And the guy just plummets to his death in his little freaking Love Heart underwear. He just plummets to his death and dies.
That sounds like a Mark Miller's thing to do to someone.
Anyway. That is a damn fine run. Another writer who's great, but not always. Another writer who's great some of the time.
I think I'm at the point in Mark Miller now where I think he's done more bad work than good.
Like Harry Potter films. No. There's still 8 good ones. Star Wars? Are we at the point where there are more bad Star Wars than good Star Wars?
No.
As someone who didn't like The Last Jedi, I would count that as good Star Wars because it's good filmmaking and everything and storytelling. It makes a lot of people happy, so I wouldn't say
the only Star Wars film that I would call an absolute trash fire is
Attack of the Clones. Thank you.
Like Phantom Menace.
Everyone always says Phantom Menace. It's not the
competent.
worst.
It's boring.
Yeah, but it's got visual iconography in there and some really interesting set pieces. And it is a story of sorts. Its only flaw as a story is it doesn't have a protagonist.
Yeah.
That's Phantom Menace's only flaw. Yeah. There isn't a central character or defined like pair of characters who are our leads.
Revenge of the Sith is fine, if a little unremarkable.
Yeah.
As is...
Everyone blew it because they were just amazed at how much better it was compared to the previous film.
Attack of the Clones is barely a film.
Yes.
It's barely a film.
I think I've said this before. When the Saga box set came out on Blu-ray, I snatched up immediately and then decided to do something I'd never done, which was watch them all chronologically.
Oh.
And I watched Phantom Menace and I had a laugh and I was like, oh, that was shit, but I had fun. That was great. I remember being really fond of this bit as a kid and that was great. Okay.
Yeah, it came out when I was 11. So yeah, it's going to have
I was 8. You know, the Argos that used to be at the shopping fort near Sainsbury's in Salford.
Yeah.
There was an Argos there. It was the only place that I managed to finally get Darth Maul's action figure. I tracked it down forever and I couldn't find it.
The only ones I had were Darth Maul and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I've got them upstairs in a lunchbox.
Yeah.
And then I got to Attack of the Clones the next night. Had to stop halfway through because I was just shouting at the screen.
It's just a slog.
It took me 9 months before I went, I never finished that marathon. And I just put Attack of the Clones back on while doing the ironing. And then the next day, the pacing picked up again. So I had a 9-month break between an hour into the second movie and the rest of the saga.
Well, speaking of taking a break, that's what Fox have done with the X-Men franchise.
Yeah, you teased me with this, you little tease.
So we know Dark Phoenix is coming in a couple of months.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, it's got a new trailer out there. It's got release dates. It's being marketed in cinemas now. Actually marketed in cinemas.
Coming to theaters.
New Mutants, on the other hand.
Oh.
Rumours are...
Now, keep in mind, and what I find quite poignant is the day we're recording this is Wednesday the 27th.
Yeah.
In a couple of hours, recording another episode with a very special guest who joined us for the first time on this podcast for an episode about New Mutants.
Well, we were talking about
imminently being released.
We talked
at that point.
We talked. It was when the first trailer came out.
Yeah, and it was due, I think, about 6 or 7 months after the trailer.
Yeah,
it was when the film was due, and that was 2 years ago.
It's currently slated for August.
Yeah.
Whether it'll come out or not, I don't know, because.
Having been put back from last March to last October to possibly this month to now
then
August
to
this
August
year.
coming.
Yeah. So that's they wrapped this ages ago. Then did some reshoots to rumoured add a new character.
Well, rumours are that they did reshoots, and rumours are they did reshoots to make it scarier. Okay. And some rumours came out. Although I think this is.
Speculative,
fanciful at best.
Yeah.
That they'd done reshoots to add in Daphne Keen's X-23.
That's weird to me.
That
because
would be
that
weird.
would set New Mutants about 30 years into the future.
Well, let's not even go there. But so Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner did a Rolling Stone interview where they were talking about like the imminent ending of Game of Thrones, which is what sort of made them stars
because they play Sansa Stark and Arya Stark respectively.
Yes,
but they are also Jean Grey
and Rain Sinclair.
Rain Sinclair. So
AKA
Phoenix
Wolfsbane.
and a werewolf lady in
Now
X-Men, Dark Phoenix, and New Mutants respectively.
According to Maisie Williams, so New Mutants comes up in the interview, and according to Maisie Williams, it's in corporate limbo, partly thanks to the Fox Disney merger.
Okay.
But she states in the interview in frank fashion, and I quote, "Who knows when the fuck that thing is going to come out?"
Oh. Do you know why? She's probably frustrated as hell. She's probably invested so much time into it and gone for it and been really excited to be in a superhero movie.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And then that comic book film has been nearly 2 years of not being released.
She recalls talking to Charlie Heaton, who's in it as he plays Sam Guthrie / Cannonball.
Yeah.
You'll know him from Stranger Things.
Aye.
And she asked him, "What the fuck's going on with this movie?" And he didn't know either.
Great.
And she said, "Hopefully this interview will make everyone hurry up a little bit."
That's frustration right there. That is her going, "Oh, fucking hell, stop asking me, everybody. Now that I've said it, maybe Fox will have to respond in some way."
And she also addressed the reshoots and says that they haven't reshot anything.
That she knows of.
They haven't reshot anything.
That she knows of.
If there's a reshoots, she wasn't called back for him, and Charlie Heaton wasn't called back for him.
Yeah.
So that's two of the principal cast who didn't come back for reshoots.
But as proved by Red Letter Media recently with the movie Spookies,
well,
entire extra sequences and subplots could be shot to pad a movie out that have nothing to do with the original sets or actors.
yeah. So
That film had I think they said an additional 20 odd minutes added to it of just that dude orchestrating things from another room that had fuck all to do with what they shot originally.
well,
If so, that's making me fascinated even more about this film and how much of a potential train wreck it could be.
She then said when they were talking about what if she still wants it released because she says later in the interview it would be, again I quote, "It would be ridiculously stupid if they didn't do that."
Right, so she's baiting Fox now. She's going,
basically.
put the fucking movie out.
Just get it out.
Don't come to me with like a PR thing saying, "Hey, can you not talk about it like that anymore?" Just put some information out there, you bastard. Because we haven't had a trailer for about a year and a half.
We haven't had a trailer since the first trailer.
I'm sure that... Well, there not been another one since?
Not that I recall. Could be wrong.
I think there might have been a spot or something that had been put together.
Maybe.
Because it was when they were going, "No, it's still coming out. It's still coming out."
Well, at the moment, it's slated for the 2nd of August. Which is up...
I guarantee...
I don't know.
the thing that's stalling it is Feige not going, "Hey, don't release your movie," but him, because he's very ideas driven as a producer and overseer of the MCU. If they figured out what they would like to do with X-Men and it's imminent, that might be what's holding it up.
Feige's already been out there saying, "Yo, don't expect anything with Fantastic Four and X-Men anytime soon. The earliest we can plan it is later this year."
Bullshit. They've already
We're
planned
not.
it. They're already planning it, just not in an official capacity.
Do not expect to see anything until 2021.
Well,
at the earliest.
Well, I don't know.
I think he's pretty good at managing expectations.
True. But
I think that's something you want to get ahead of. And we know that they've got a director for Shang-Chi. They're looking at...
Is that an MCU film?
Yeah. They're looking at casting
but it's
the
not been announced
soon.
as, like... MCU, like, it's Marvel and Disney are making
It's not been announced where it
production
fits
is beginning
in the phases, but...
We're due that soon, surely. I bet they've been waiting until after Endgame, so not to spoil things.
I think Feige said they'll wait until after Far From Home comes out.
So that probably means no new ones later this year then. Which sounds about right.
We've had 3.
It'll be like last year where we get 3 over the course of the summer.
Black Panther 2 is happening.
Yeah, Coogler has confirmed he's working on it.
Scott Derrickson has talked about Doctor Strange 2.
I hope that happens.
So that's probably happening.
Because there's been rumours, because he posted a picture of Strange and Namor having a fight underwater,
So cool.
and then deleted it.
Oh,
that would be a cool fucking way to bring in a character like Namor who wouldn't really work with his own film because A, you really got to sell it to new people who don't know him,
and B, Aquaman's a thing.
Aquaman's a thing. But if you have Namor in a Doctor Strange movie, then you're putting two of the original Defenders in a film together. So that's no bad thing. Spider-Man's getting a third.
We're getting a third Spider-Man.
Guardians 3, though delayed, is happening now.
Guardians 3 is happening, but not until 2021.
A Black Widow movie's happening.
Black Widow movie's happening. Florence Pugh was just casting that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shang-Chi's happening.
Yeah,
I don't know when.
That excites me because that means that they're still going for lesser known or on-brand characters.
They're also talking about Eternals.
Yeah, we've mentioned this.
We know they're developing Eternals and they're looking for an openly gay lead.
Okay.
Other than that,
I'm trying to think what
else.
There'll definitely be a Captain Marvel 2, if not a film
there will be a
with Captain Marvel in the lead.
Yes, she will be heading up the Avengers, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily we'll have Captain Marvel 2, but we might have like Avengers something, and it's
whatever the next
as the lead character.
Avengers ends up being, it'll be Captain Marvel, Falcon, Bucky.
Well, Falcon and Bucky might not because they're getting a show.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. But I don't think we're going to get any Fantastic
Korg and
Four
Meek do Dallas. I don't know.
Korg and Meek. But yeah, I mean, things are happening.
You mean I've got to take off my wolf?
Oh my god, they haven't pulled you off.
That's in a Disney film. That makes me so happy.
Piss off, ghost.
You know, I was watching last night. Beware the Creeper, the penultimate episode of Batman.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise just how much sexual humour is in Batman the Animated Series.
Have you seen Mad Love, right?
No, but you know, but this is like 4 or 5 episodes later, and this is the last Harley and Joker appearance in the show.
Yeah.
And but like, the whole thing is just Jack Ryder basically going like, I'm mutated now, and I fancy that clown woman. I'm going to beat up the Joker and shag his girlfriend. And that's basically the plot of it.
What's really weird is he actually says that in the episode.
I'm going to beat up the Joker and shag his girlfriend. But Harley, and that's when the Joker comes back, and Harley's in a pie. And she basically sings a happy anniversary song because it's 7 years since he came out of the chemicals. And she says, don't you want a slice of my pie? Or you're talking to a slice of my pie? Whilst covered in cream. That she then licks off of herself.
Bruce Timm does like drawing scantily clad / semi-naked women.
In this case, she's completely caked. So her outline of the costume's there, but caked.
Yeah.
In white goo.
Frosting.
And then she throws it on, like, throws some at the Joker and it's his shoulder stuff and whatever, and he kicks her out because he's just not in the mood for that and he wants to do other stuff.
He's never in the mood for that and he always wants to do other stuff.
But then there's this wonderfully pithy line where he throws her outside and he closes the door and he goes, it's just like, great kid, enthusiastic, but lousy cook. You're just like, wait, hang on.
Love it.
Hang on.
Love it.
Hang on.
With that, Christopher, I think we should probably sink our teeth.
Sorry.
We should probably sink our teeth into the main topic of today's
Article 50. No.
No, it is a horror story, though.
Yeah.
So
let's be brief on this, but let's be spoiler free for a little bit, and then we'll split that rock wide open. And if you want to hear your emails but not hear spoilers for us, check the time codes to skip ahead.
The first part of 2019's Year of the Peel.
It's the Year of the Peel.
We got Jordan Peele's horror movie, family featuring.
Yeah,
family-centric
horror movie.
Not for families, about families.
About our other selves.
With an incredible leading performance from Lupita Nyong'o. It is, of course, us. It's us.
It's us.
It's us. we're off to see the Wizard, the Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Thanks, I'll probably end up singing that in a few weeks' time. Thanks for that.
You'll end up singing it later tonight, I know what you're like. You'll be singing it for the next 3 weeks.
What are you?
We're Americans. Us!
Yeah.
It's a 2019 horror film, directed by Jordan Peele, starring Peter Nyong'o, Winston Duke, and a bunch of other awesome people who we'll get to later.
Including 2 insanely talented child actors.
Everyone's going to get name check, kids, don't worry. It is about a family who, while holidaying in California,
Santa Cruz,
are faced down by an identical versions of themselves. But what do they want?
And where did they come from?
Where did they come from? And where are we going? Yes, to say more...
To say
more
things. Than what you see in the trailers would spoil things, but if you've ever been scared by a home invasion movie, this will do that for you.
It pulls some of those strings.
If you've ever been scared by, like, really likeable actors doing some really creepy, fucked up things with a performance...
Definitely pulls those strings. If you liked the way the story of Get Out was told, this is going to tick your boxes as well. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of reviews, and actually even interviews with Jordan Peele and the cast and stuff, unfairly bring up Get Out a lot in relation to this.
It is
because it's his sophomore film. They all assume that Get Out was what you want to say, and you're going to continue to say it in different ways.
Yeah,
it's like, no, the similarities begin and end at this is a horror film, and social constructs are discussed through the medium of storytelling.
Well, it is like...
But they're not the same ones from last time, so everybody please stop asking him about that in interviews, thanks.
Like a lot of...
Because you can tell he's so bored of answering that question.
Well, like a lot of good... Like, all the best genre stuff, and I assume we'll see this when his Twilight Zone reboot comes out later this year.
Did you see the couple teaser trailers last few days?
No.
Look good. Look good.
I will have to check them out. But I'm sure we'll see this when Twilight Zone comes along, but... A lot of the best genre fiction, be it horror, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, is social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Whether subconsciously or by design, it is either allegorical or applicable to society, commenting on aspects of it. So it absolutely is similar to Get Out in that sense. It is not touching on the same things.
Oh no.
So... You know, make of that what you will.
Make of it what it be. It's a horror fantasy with a little science fiction flavour in there. Yeah, please don't go into it thinking it's a science fiction. A lot of people have gone like, I didn't understand this because this didn't match up because the explanation for that doesn't make any sense. Please leave that at the door. It's not a film based in science. It's a film that uses science to tell its story. To a point. Allegory is in there.
Yeah.
Metaphor is in there. But what's in this one, much more than was in Get Out, is just a pure horror setting and story.
A real good horror movie.
Yeah. A lot of fun. And at the time I remember going, oh, this is freaky, I really enjoyed it. It was hours after, when I was lay awake at night, that I really started to think about bits of it and was going, oh, this has actually scared me more than I realised. This is really freaky. And it's when you start joining up the dots, it's very much a film that you will be thinking about afterwards and going, oh yeah, oh yeah,
oh yeah,
oh yeah. And it seems from what we chatted about before, by the end of the movie, it seems we both had a slightly different conclusion to it.
Yeah. That
will be interesting because it means we'll both have a different POV when we rewatch it.
Yes.
Which is really, really interesting to me that like the film can do that. And I'm just like, dude.
Before we get into spoilers,
I want to
do a quick cast shout out.
Oh, hi cast.
The Wilsons family.
Yeah,
the main family in the film. So Lupita Nyong'o as Adelaide, Winston Duke as her husband Gabe, and Shahadi Wright Joseph and Evan Alex as their children Zora and Jason. Fucking phenomenal, because of course all those actors also play the double versions of them as well.
Yeah,
and physically, those performances are so distinctive across all of them. That it's particularly from the younger actors. I mean, Shahadi Wright Joseph is, I don't know, I can't find her age here.
I think she's 13. I think I've seen that somewhere.
She's a teenager, anyway.
Because the idea is like when that was thinking in an interview or whatever, someone was like, "Holy shit!" Like for her age to pull out those two performances.
She's a relatively young teenager, and I think Evan Alex is younger.
Sort of 8 or 9.
I think he's supposed to be 8 now, but I think he's probably in reality a little older than that. But either way, they're young teenagers at the oldest.
Yeah.
and oh Christ!
Oh my God! And the performances that they are pulling out of themselves are astounding.
Oh yeah.
And
really amazing.
It's just like, holy shit.
So all the members of the Wilson family doing some fucking quality work here. Let's get into spoilers, because oh my, there is some stuff to talk about in this movie.
If you want our complete spoiler-free opinion on the film beyond what we've already said, go to our YouTube channel, Big Damn Channel. Check out our Big Damn review of Us.
And don't go into this movie being spoiled.
Yeah.
It will...
If you're about to listen to this next bit having not seen it, you're doing so at your own risk, that's fine, but we seriously recommend you don't.
Yeah, I recommend you go see Us, because it's really good.
Spoilers. Everyone dies!
Well!
Lots
a lot of people die!
Across America!
None of the Wilsons
Specifically throughout the centre of America.
Hands across America.
Where to begin? So, I was thinking about it that much that I immediately searched up online. I was just like, I wonder what the people have spotted that I didn't see or that they've seen on rewatches. You know, at the beginning, the very first thing we see is this caption that says there are thousands of tunnel
thousands of miles of tunnels across underneath
America. Like, some had uses for military and storage across the years, but have now been left abandoned, and most people don't even know what they were there for.
Yeah.
And you're just given that. And then the film moves on. You're like, huh? That becomes evident by the end of the movie what it's referring to and what that means.
Yeah, it's very good at
specifically a tunnel network from one coast to the other is the focus of the film here.
Well, I don't know if it is...
definitely throughout America, but like that line seems to be where this rebellion has come from, because it coincides with the very centre of the country.
You don't get an exact idea of exactly what the scope of the events in this movie are. You know, it's bigger than what you see.
Yeah. Well, this is where I was saying about the science fiction separation. A lot of people have gone, well, hang on, how would they know exactly how many people? How would they know which people have to be in the middle? Because it's a fantasy horror, it uses science to explain part of its plot, but the rest of it is left open to your imagination to just sort of deal with. And not in a plot hole way, just in a, that's not important.
Yeah, it's not.
This is what's important. Yeah.
Some movies are obsessed with the technicalities of how the plot works, like Christopher Nolan's movies. Some movies are more interested in telling the story, and you just have to make it fit however you make it fit.
Well, I've seen a lot of people saying, how would the tethered Adelaide, how would Red, the original Red, know how to get out of the facility? Why would that happen if they all just mimic what's going on the surface? Like, because they make a point of, like, something was obviously a bit wrong with that one. Something was a bit different. And what's the explanation to that? Is, like, genetically was she wrong as a clone? This and this. Like, she's not even an original generation clone, guys. They make it clear that these tethered have babies identical to the ones on the surface.
Yeah.
Well, how can they do that? Because it's not about the fucking logic of that, guys.
Yeah, literally, so we should get into...
They are literally shadow people mirroring what's happening on the surface, and her being slightly different is what kickstarts the plot. Without that happening, you don't get the story, everybody.
So we find out...
How did she know how to get out like it was no big thing? Because she's probably taken a peek before.
So we...
That's why.
We find out that...
Oh my God, that annoys me so much when people get really shitty about
So the doppelgangers are what are called tethered.
Tethered.
And there are a lot of doppelgangers. As far as we know in the film, it's possible that everyone in the States has a doppelganger. Or at least a good chunk of them, because... so Red, who is Adelaide's doppelganger...
keeping in mind there'll be multiple generations of Ted
as
well.
Yes.
Because it doesn't say how far back this goes.
Yeah, she reveals that the government had this program where they worked out how to clone people. The clones didn't have souls. but they were connected to...
But where's the science? Fuck you. Like, they mention the souls.
This is how scientific it gets.
There's realm of fantasy in this story, guys.
They tried to use
She believes she was spoken to by God. Like, it's, you know, the science fiction plays no part in this beyond the initial concept of cloning.
They tried to use these clones to control the people above by having the people above mimic their actions, but it actually works the other way. And the tethered mimic the actions of the people above, and they can't get it to work the other way. So they abandon it and leave these tethered in the tunnel system.
Possibly at the time, maybe just hundreds of tethered to just live out their days and die. The thing is also down there is, presumably, again, you have to fill the gaps in yourself, presumably rabbits that were the test subjects of the cloning and are now just providing raw food for the tethered.
That's just all they eat. They just eat raw rabbit.
Fucking rabbit. And based on how clean some of the rooms are, they eat the whole damn rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
They eat everything.
Well, someone clearly comes in and cleans up and gives them fresh clothes. Because they all
has done at some point.
Because they all have clothing that matches
the people above. And they all have lockers. Well, that's the thing. And then some of the clothing they've got down below only sort of matches the people above.
Yeah.
So they've obviously just made do. Because the Thriller t-shirt,
it's inside out.
Yeah.
Backwards. Yeah.
Oh gosh, so good.
So that's what the doppelgangers are. And Red, who's Adelaide's doppelganger, as I said, she is leading a sort of an uprising of the tethered, where they're going to emerge from the tunnel. The untethering. They're going to emerge from their tunnels, all dressed in these red boiler suits, with a fingerless leather glove on their right hand, and each has a pair of golden
only
scissors.
Afterwards I freaking realised the significance of that.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And each they have a pair of golden scissors, massive golden shearing scissors, and they set out to again, murder.
Never straight up explained, but there are things in there that suggest why scissors might be the weapon of choice. And they go out to murder their
originals, I suppose.
Yeah, like their
counterparts.
Their counterparts.
Murder and replace.
Because as Red refers to it at one point, there was a girl and there was her shadow.
Yes.
So they're going to kill what they are connected to, regain their independence because of that. Like, they obviously have enough willpower to get this action done.
Yeah.
And then they will continue to live out, but they're going to send a message to the world to show them that they exist and where they've been.
That being said, though,
by symbolically doing something that Red has had in her head since she was a kid.
Well, yeah, because none of the other tethered seem to be able to speak. They can sort of grunt animalistically. There's so Abraham, who is Gabe's doppelganger, and Tex, who is...
I like the fact that they've got their own names, because of course they wouldn't necessarily have names. They wouldn't necessarily have the same names,
and they're symbolic as well.
Yes.
So,
fuck.
The Tyler twins are called Io and Nix.
I didn't know that. Okay. Jason's is Pluto.
Jason's is Pluto,
which is the furthest planet from the sun.
Yeah.
Or Pluto is a planet.
Pluto is a planet.
Always locked away. Is always locked away in complete darkness. Like this boy who was born underground would be. But there's also there's something else, Pluto, that is adjacent with flame. I can't quite remember what it is, but so like that shit is in there. He's also the dog of the family. Like, could be a Disney illusion as well, in a sense. Like, Pluto he's the one of the four who acts like a pet.
Yes.
He scurries around. Yeah. And so it's like, oh my god, this is creepy.
Zora's is called Umbre.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember what that's about.
It's just like I think of darkness.
I read this the other day and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it'll come to me.
Kitty's Elizabeth Moss. So there's the Tyler family, who are the Wilson family's friends. They're awful.
Yeah, they're those sort of friends that they just kind of put up with.
They're like upper middle class layabouts, like super entitled.
Again, Tim. They don't do nasty things, but everything they say, the way it's written, the way it's performed, you go like,
like Josh is one of those guys who's like, he's sort of a bro and has all the latest stuff. And he's super lazy and just likes to lay about and enjoy all his stuff. Kitty, his wife, played by Elizabeth Moss, is very
gets drunk to keep up with
vodka o'clock.
Yeah, to keep up with her marriage because she doesn't give a shit. She's image obsessed and undergoes surgery all the time and won't let a conversation go without making sure the other person's mentioned it.
They have two twins
that she resents because they stopped her acting career, unquote.
Becca and Lindsay, who are both like tall blonde alpha bitches gymnasts.
Yeah.
So
they set up these characters as these guys aren't nice,
and then their doppelgangers turn up and fucking murder them,
which is a horror trope because Peele respects the trope.
Oh yeah,
it's like the nasty bitch gets theirs.
Oh,
and in this case, the slightly nasty family, who
but
are the shit.
They're not so much nasty as sort of ignorant.
Yeah,
but in like a sort of not a they're just sort of in like a they're just a bit. They just don't get it.
Well, the horror trope, the you will be punished for your sins, and in their case, their sin is ignorance.
If they're like that's probably too strong a word. Like their sin is sort of
but
apathy.
Even then, they're tethered, stay in the residence for a bit
because they start to replace them.
No, but also like they're waiting.
Oh yeah, they're waiting for the Wilsons
because they know that's when she figures out that like they know what we're gonna do because they're us.
Yeah,
like they know we're gonna go here. Like, and that's why we have to we can't stay here. We just have to keep driving. Because if we keep driving, even if they know that's what we're going to do, they still have to catch up to us. And we'll have more of a chance of surviving doing that than we would staying here.
At this point in the movie,
there's another reason why she might want to get as far away from that coastal town as possible.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll come to that later. But you start, at that point in the movie, you're starting to see the tethered mimic their originals more and more. And at first you think, they just mimic them because they're going to replace them. And then, as you find out later on, they've been doing that their entire lives and they haven't known why.
Abraham's is the most perfect example. Like, Gabe straightens his glasses quite a bit, pushes them on the bridge.
Yeah, he's got that habit of like pushing them up with his finger.
And Abraham does it, and Gabe sort of watches him do it, and it's a little moment where it's Gabe going, that's me, holy shit. Because it's his mannerisms. But then when he does it in front of Abraham sort of notices. So when he's stalking him to kill him, he takes the glasses off of him, puts them on himself and does it. And you almost see, because Abraham is basically just a bear.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he is. He's just this big tank of a
Winston
man.
Duke's a big man.
Yeah.
But
as the internet has been pointing out since this movie came out, delicious thighs.
Oh, man. I have got just a little bit of a man crush on Winston Duke. Like,
the amount of tweets along the lines of, thank you, Jordan Peele, for giving us that scene where he just leans back on a bed in his boxers.
He is a lovely, chunky man. And
Thick Daddy. Oh, seriously, I've not thought of before.
We saw it in Black Panther, and we see even more of it in this.
Glory to Hannibal.
Glory to Winston Duke. But yeah, so you've got, like, Winston Duke's a big dude.
Yeah.
But Gabe in this is very, like, sort of gentle and goofy.
He's archetypal.
He's dorky dad. He's embarrassing dad.
Yeah.
But in, like, a really sweet, endearing way.
Yeah.
And then Abraham
even when he plays hard, he doesn't come across as hard. He comes like, across as, like, mock hard.
It's clearly someone trying to be tougher than he is.
He's hoping that someone talk about this in an interview. He's hoping that by acting more archetypally black, he will come across as tough and frightening to the people stalking at the end of their driveway.
Like
that's as far as the racial commentary goes in this one.
Yeah,
guys.
kind of.
This isn't Get Out. That's that story. This is this story.
In a way, the sort of race is almost inconsequential, which is really cool. Because it's not.
That statement was made last time. This time it's a horror movie with a different statement to make.
Yeah. Abraham turns up and he's just this ginormous animalistic brute.
Yeah.
And he's got some of Gabe's mannerisms, but he can't talk it.
He sort of bellows. Like,
yeah.
It's
like an animal roar. Gabe is verbose and
Humor's like his main drive.
He's funny. He's what's the word I'm looking for? Articulate. The one thing I'm not. Ironically, he's articulate, and I couldn't think of that word. And Abraham just bellows.
Yeah. Oh, it's even creepier when he's bellowing across the thing, and you're like, "Who's he yelling at?" And you assume at this point that maybe it's Zora's counterpart. Yeah. No, it ain't.
He's yelling at Tex,
who
is Josh's counterpart,
who you hear make that noise like 15 minutes later, and you go,
"Yeah,
oh."
And
okay.
Because again, Tex turns up,
yeah,
murders Josh, immediately takes Josh's, like,
robe.
Fucking horribly cheesy, tasteless dressing gown.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Soaked in Josh's blood.
Yeah. Oh.
And it just has his mannerisms.
Yeah.
Like that jokey bro dude mannerisms. But
Right down to when he's stalking as well. He's just kind of...
Yeah.
It's like he's goofing around.
He's like,
Yeah.
But even does the thing where as Kitty's bleeding out and she reaches up for him and he does the whole hand goes reach for her and then does it into stroking his hair.
Yeah.
But in that sort of exaggerated way where he's doing
He's
it.
kind of getting it now, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's almost enjoying it because he sort of understands it now.
And those dual performances
horrible.
are really, really clever.
Yeah.
Can we talk about respecting and subverting tropes a little bit?
Oh, God, yeah.
Because...
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, just even to nods to other things. The twins' doppelgangers are, for at least one shot specifically, very much just nodding to The Shining.
Yes,
there's a bit where they just
absolutely.
stood there hand in hand, staring, smiling forwards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jordan.
But
have you seen him on the press tour? His outfits.
He's wearing
Jordan Peele
wearing Jack Nicholson's outfit from The Shining.
He's dressed as Thingy Torrance on the first day of press. On the second day, he was wearing a special knitted scarf that is the pattern of Freddy's sweater.
Oh, God,
like he's just
him.
been showing off his horror chops.
I love him.
He's been doing a lot of interviews along the lines of like, "What's your guide to horror?" And he's like, "Right," and he never mentions like Rosemary's Baby or The Exorcist, or he never touches on the stuff that always comes up when he's like, "Ridley Scott, what is horror to you?" He's like, "Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, I fucking love Chucky, Critters is a guilty pleasure," and you're just like, "Yeah,
it always is."
You're great.
Nothing guilty about it. Those first two movies are pretty fun.
But there is stuff in there.
But he
Lost Boys is in the film. Literally, at the beginning, and this is something I didn't realise afterwards, her mum, Adelaide's mum, when they're in the fairground at the beginning, the flashback, which is in 84, I think, the flashback, 84,
86?
It might be 86. The mum's talking about they're filming something down the pier, like, do you want to go see that? And the dad's ignores when the dad's not really paying attention to it.
Of course!
They're filming that freaking, I can't remember the bit now, but in Lost Boys, the stuff that's at the Santa Cruz Pier.
It's on the boardwalk, yeah.
Lost Boys is in the film. It's in the film.
Amazing.
It's being filmed in
Amazing.
the time of the flashback in the film. Chud is a videotape at the
Chud
beginning.
is one of the videos at the beginning, and
which
the
is
Goonies.
the earliest sign of what the film is about.
Yeah, it is about a failed government experiment living in tunnels underground.
Because what is Chud? It's
cannibalistic humanoid underdwellers or something like that.
cannibalistic humanoid underdwellers.
Yeah.
It's
Something.
underground dwellers.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it's like, wait. That Don't God!
forget the
Even the
sequel.
choice of that videotape in the opening shot is deliberate, because if you know what that film is and think about it for a moment, you go, "Oh, this is the plot of this movie."
Don't forget the sequel.
Like, this is the plot of this movie, because they're eating other clones.
Chud
They might be
2.
rabbits, but they're eating other clones.
Bud the Chud.
Bud the Chud. Also, this is the
The
second
Goonies
appearance.
is up there as well, and they quote Goonies later on. I
Yeah,
think.
this is the second appearance of the is it the Right Way VHS box set in a movie this past month.
The Right Stuff.
The Right Stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause Captain Marvel picks it up and looks at it. And
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Marvel, and then in this, it's filling most of the right hand side of the screen.
Yeah.
The opening shot of the movie.
Um,
That's so weird. That's such a weird coincidence.
it's
Jane Silent Bob reboot is paying homage to the Captain Marvel cameo for Mallrats. In one of Kevin showed a screen grab in one of the scenes in Brody's secret stash. He's specifically like rearranging the Captain Marvel part of the shelf.
excellent.
So they're paying it back so a Mallrats character is paying homage to Captain Marvel.
Excellent.
What
so
stuff crops up? Thriller gets a visual reference and some discussion toward the beginning. Obviously, the time of the release of this movie could not have predicted the current cultural conversation around Michael Jackson and his legacy.
In the flashbacks, they mention that Adelaide loves
that
Jackson
music
Thriller.
video, yeah.
Yeah.
But thematically, Michael Jackson is in the fucking like tethered design.
It's got the one glove on
The
the right
singular glove. So, like, again, it's like, holy shit. And that's something I realised after. I kind of got it later because the Hands Across America thing is obviously a big part too.
Yeah.
And the gloves are possibly a symbol of like, you know, this is us untethered, like we are untethered. This is our symbol of separation.
Yeah.
But then of course they're all holding hands, so it's glove to hand throughout the whole thing. But no, specifically, it was a reference to Thriller and Michael Jackson. God, what else? Some of the tropes. I mean, let's talk about Hands Across America. So, that was a real charity drive in '86. I think it was. Where basically to try and sort of show that America was united against, I think it was homelessness and
poverty.
America was going to try and connect coast to coast, a human chain from coast to coast, or several human chains from coast to coast. And obviously there were gaps, because people weren't necessarily going to go off into the bloody woods and little highways. But the idea was it was a symbolic thing. Like Reagan was president at the time, and he took part in it. There's footage of like people on the White House porch doing it and all this. That informs the uprising. That's the image that they use.
6.5 million people held hands in a human chain for 15 minutes along a path across the contiguous United States. May 25th, 1986.
Yeah. It also explains why scissors might be the weapon of choice, because we know that some tailoring and stuff goes down in the tethered underground.
Yep.
Paper chains of people are part of it. So, yeah, and Jordan Peele said the use of scissors as their weapon is because of the duality of scissors. We use scissors every day.
We
use them in schools. We use them in craft stuff. We use them in the kitchen. We use them all the time, and they are a useful tool that we would be stuck without on so many things. You can also stab someone to death with them. But we don't really think about that.
Shearing scissors like these particularly. Yeah. And also, most of the time, the tethered hold them upside down so they look like two people standing back to back.
Yes.
There is so much wonderful imagery in this film. But the reason I mentioned tropes is because one of the things that, with this and Get Out, that I mentioned this in the review video we did, that Jordan Peele does is he's seen enough horror movies to make his characters genre savvy.
Yeah.
And when they aren't genre savvy...
We were saying, weren't we? We're in a post-Buffy world.
Yeah.
Like, why would the characters be ignorant of what's happening to them when they will have seen stuff of a similar kind of level of danger?
So it
because of the stories they've absorbed.
It feels more like... Pardon me. The reactions and the way the characters approach situations and challenges just feels more... I don't want to say believable because...
Genuine.
Yeah, it feels more genuine.
Yeah. Not believable because like that situation's not necessarily happening right now. But yeah,
the one of the best examples in that movie, and also the way it sets up and pays things off, and one of the best examples is the flare gun moment. It's set up so well. Like, so early on in the film, you find out that because Josh has a boat, Gabe has bought.
That's why Gabe's got the boat, not because he wants one, but because he wants to try and one up Josh or catch
Josh has got a boat, which we later find out is called Biotch.
B yacht och. The Biotch. Terrible.
That's the kind of character Josh is. And then he gets the boat, and then he's on the beach talking to Josh about it. And Josh is listing off all this.
And Josh has been like, "You got one, awesome! Did you do? But then
did you get this? Did you get this? Did you do that? He's like, "Did you get the fire extinguisher? Yeah. Did you get the first aid? Yeah. Did you get the flare gun?" And Gabe's like, "Oh," I was like, "You gotta have the flare gun. You gotta get the flare gun."
And again, just him trying to go, I've got one up on you. I'll back you. But cut to Tex.
Tex is chasing Gabe. Yeah. So another thing they do with Gabe very well is he's the biggest, most powerful member of the family. So immediately they
take that out by injuring his leg.
Fuck his leg up.
Yeah.
Straight away, so he can't really run. He has a baseball bat for most of the film, but he uses it as a stick, as a walking stick.
Yeah. He gets his leg knocked in and then dragged through broken glass in like the opening 5 minutes of the home invasion.
To the point where I thought they were going to kill him off.
I kind of thought they would as well. I'm sort of pleasantly surprised that none of our 4 leads died.
I think
but one of them does die to us.
Yes,
because it's like
again, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But in a lazier movie, they would have killed him off straight away because they didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah,
but Jordan Peele's very just incapacitates him sort of. But you still get moments like this flare gun moment. So so Tex is chasing Gabe out of the Tyler's place. Gabe hobbles down to the because
Down to the
Because
top.
Tex is running after him, because Tex is fucking with him.
Yeah.
Like Josh would.
Yeah, Tex is taking his time.
So he goes to the boat, which is when you find out it's called Biatch.
Yeah.
And he waits for Tex in the boat. And you already know, because they've set it up, that he's going to shoot Tex with the flare gun.
Yeah.
You already know what's going to happen.
Or set him on fire.
Yeah.
Or, the flare gun is going to be used right now.
Tex gets into the inside of the boat. Sure enough, Gabe has the flare gun, fires the flare gun, and the flare just sort of flops down. Ineffective. Fizzles out. And at that point you're like, oh yeah, it's just because it sets something up, you expect it coming, and then he subverts it. It's really clever writing.
It's brilliantly done.
And it's a combination of a knowledge of horror tropes and a comedic skill. But then that also creates more tension because then he has to wrestle Tex in this confined space, and you don't see it.
Yeah, because it leaves it open. You don't know what the fuck,
and you're not sure what happens either because Dahlia, who is Kitty's tethered, she sees the struggle and then she starts screaming, but then she starts laughing.
Oh, that's the thing. No sound comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
so you're not sure if Tex is like losing it and then kills Gabe, or if Tex is winning, or if Gabe is winning.
But in hindsight, she was enjoying watching her husband being hurt.
Yeah,
because in real life,
they hate
actual
each other.
Counterpart fucking hated her husband. Oh my god, that is so good.
Oh, they don't know if they hate each other.
Well, she doesn't like him. Like we know that at least she doesn't like being around him.
When she's bleeding out, she's crawling towards him.
True.
True,
but I suppose the tethered wouldn't have that moment per se.
No.
Because, that happened after their separation.
Yes.
So the reconciliation sort of, isn't something the tethered would necessarily mirror. Because the soul... Because fantasy! It's a really clever
Call
moment.
the police.
Playing Fuck the Police.
Oh, yeah, there is some dark-ass comedy in this.
Yeah. Oh, because that's, again, do not mistake it. Jordan Peele is a comedy guy.
Jordan Peele's a funny motherfucker.
And just like in Get Out, comedy is in this movie, and it is utilised perfectly.
Yeah.
You did not just say we should do a Home Alone.
Yeah, they have the Home Alone moment. It's like, we can defend this house.
We can bring it with traps. You're like, Home Alone.
You did not just bring them Home Alone in this situation. Both the kids go, what's Home Alone? You're like, no!
We're all huddling closer to the grave. Oh, no.
Why do these children not know what Home Alone is?
Have you ever seen that really old movie, Aliens? In Infinity War, just like, fuck you, Peter.
You.
Fuck you, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Isn't that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back?
Fuck
God
you.
damn it, Spider-Man.
How old is this kid? Yeah, it's very clever in that way. Let's talk about the big twist and keep hinting at. So, the prologue of the movie is...
Which is so beautifully paced. The entire opening, so and then letting it linger with you by doing, again, which I hope sort of becomes a staple of his horror movies, like Did We Get Out?
Yeah.
A long-ass opening title crawl.
Yeah.
In Get Out, it's just a fixated shot of, the trees going past the car.
Yeah.
In this one, it's a very slow pull-out from a rabbit cage to reveal just enough to make you go, wait, what?
It's like
there's a wall of rabbit cages, and I can see classroom desks.
Yeah.
What is this? And then it cuts away. Yeah. Okay. You don't see that shit for another hour and 20 minutes. Because you don't need to see that shit yet. But he just wants you to have that mental image in your head. So when you get there, you go, oh.
There are a lot of images in this film.
And there's a lot of that because the flashback is of Adelaide wandering off from her parents.
This is the prologue, yeah. She wanders off from her parents on the boardwalk. She goes
Santa
into
Cruz.
this...
She goes to watch the storm, and then she sees... It's something like Chief Hunting Bear or something. House
Vision
of Mirrors.
Quest.
Find yourself.
Yeah.
And then I love the sort of rebrand years later.
Yeah, they've rebranded it as Merlin's Forest.
Yeah, like the idea that sort of, it's a bit insensitive, but also we need to paint up the front. Because the front is repainted.
Yeah.
to
But
look
it's still
nicer.
got the totem pole, you must be this high to enter thing.
Yeah, like they couldn't be asked to replace that.
And like inside,
and inside's exactly the same.
like this because that owl.
Except the bit of the audio is more sort of like the mystical.
Yes.
It's like at some point they've probably re-recorded something and then left it at that.
You get the jump scare in the prologue with the animatronic owl popping out, and then when Adelaide goes in there later, she just fucks it up
Because she's
it
replayed
pops
that.
out. She just whacks it with the
Well,
fire.
it's funny because I was like, oh, because
With
she's
the poker.
replayed that moment in her head and again, and I'm like, actually no,
Actually,
she hasn't replayed that moment in her
Because-
head.
so
She's just hitting the annoying thing.
yeah. So the prologue, you see Adelaide, and she's walking through this hollow, and she gets stuck in this hollow
She
mirror.
starts
Power
whistling
goes out,
Itsy Bitsy Spider to
Yeah.
herself.
and then she hears someone whistling it back, but in a very broken, disjointed way.
Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout, down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Yeah.
Doesn't say it's the same spider.
Yep.
God, that's
And-
creepy.
and then you have
now
the
I'm thinking about it, that's really creepy.
So-
it's about someone going out and then someone else coming
There's
out.
that wonderful image
Oh.
where she's walking in front of what you think is a mirror,
Yeah.
and then she turns round, but her reflection doesn't. Her reflection's still facing away from her.
Yeah.
And then you see the reflection start to turn round, what you think is the reflection, cut to a face close up on Adelaide as she starts screaming, but again it's silent, you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the prologue.
Yeah, well, yeah, we see her parents talking to a therapist.
Oh yeah, about why she isn't speaking.
While Adelaide is just playing with a little sandpit table thing in the reception.
Yeah.
Lining all the plastic animals up side by side next to each other. Which is weird on reflection, 'cause it's like, oh my god, is she starting to think the other way? But we'll get into that.
Yep.
Oh.
Of course, and throughout the film, so Adelaide's sort of reluctance to go back to Santa Cruz, you think
And she doesn't talk for
No.
It's implied in her story later, months after that
Yeah.
incident.
And it's like she takes up dance, and that helps her bring her out of herself, and then to the point where she's living a fairly normal life, fairly normal and happy life with Gabe when we first meet her at the start of the film.
Yeah, we skip forward. How many years?
86 to 2000, so 23 years.
Yeah. So she's in her 30s and absolutely happy with a
Yeah.
husband and 2 kids, and she loves them all to bits. And they're going back to
Santa
I think
Cruz.
there's implications they've been to this.
They've been to the house before,
Yeah.
because it's her mum's house.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like where either she, if not,
It's where she grew up.
which again's a nice implication. It's a mum's house.
Yeah.
Not a parent's house. So the parents did.
Well,
part
we don't know.
ways. Well, there's no like. There's lots of artwork of like young her and a mum.
Yeah,
There's
there's
nothing of
nothing
her
of
and
a
the
dad.
dad. There's like one picture I think
Because her dad's
of the
like
three.
a bit
There's
of
one picture of the 3 of them somewhere in one of the rooms, if I remember.
Yeah, it's implied that her dad's a bit of a deadbeat, a bit drunk.
Yeah, so it looks like the mum
and they're arguing in the flashbacks,
parted
yeah.
with dad,
Um,
and so they've gone back to and her mum passed away at some point in the last couple of years because they say that
Last year,
Jason's
I
not
think.
quite
yeah,
coped with it. This is the first time they've been
Recently.
back here,
yeah.
and she's obviously had no problem going back here before.
But they don't go to the beach. They don't go to Santa Cruz.
Yeah, but there is something about this visit that's weirding her out.
Yeah.
And it it
Coincidences.
seems as we think as we're watching the movie, we think it has something to do with the fact that the trip to Santa Cruz is the thing that puts her on shaky ground. But she then talks about how, like, lately she's been seeing more coincidences and it's really freaking her out.
Yeah.
And even what's her name? A friend that I was obsessed with
Kitty.
Kitty. Even Kitty's like, yeah, that's been happening a lot lately. And on reflection, it's because she knows things are out of whack.
Yeah.
Like copycat behaviour's coming to the surface.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like the guy on the pier is the first tethered we see. No, the first tethered we think we see.
Yes.
The guy who's walking around with the.
Well, you see him in the flashback.
Yeah, and what's
He's
the
got
card?
it's Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 11:11.
Yeah.
Freaking
Which is a Bible quote.
mirror image, which is a Bible quote, which talks about how like it's something like I've got to pull it up. It's got to be on there somewhere because again, it is the plot of the film.
Well, you pull
it's
that
the
up.
plot of the film.
So yeah,
It's
he's
the
got
plot
the
of
thing
the
is Jeremiah
film.
11, and then you
Yeah.
see.
I bet if I search this now, it'll be the moment I start writing Jeremiah, it'll be the top one. Yeah, it's the top result.
As you see him, you see his body being put into an ambulance as they are driving to Santa Cruz Beach, and then Jason sees
Well, that's the thing.
he's tethered on the beach,
Yeah, well,
but facing away from him.
That's the thing. Adelaide doesn't look at that body like she recognises him.
No.
Which you expect
You
to happen.
think she does.
Yeah.
But
No.
actually, no, you
Because
think she does.
she's never seen
But
him.
you don't realise that she doesn't until later on.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, she's just looking at it concerned parent style, like, oh, that's a body. We're driving past a body. This might be frightening.
We'll just cut to the chase. So, you find out that what actually happened is that Adelaide...
Oh my God.
Adelaide that we know in the film is actually the original Red. And the original Red pulled a switcheroo.
Real Adelaide.
Trapped real Adelaide.
Real Adelaide is our villain.
Down in
the
tunnels and then escaped to Adelaide's life.
Yeah. Adelaide, in scare quotes, did not speak. She was traumatised because she'd never done it yet.
No.
And it took her a while to do it. She began to dance to express herself because she already had been acting differently, hence why she went up to the surface.
Yeah.
She started to dance to express herself, and that kind of unlocked her as... Because again, this is the whole spiritual angle of the movie. That sort of unlocked her as the primary soul holder of this existence.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, she's Adelaide now. She's Adelaide, and that's everything. And at the end, we'll talk about at the end, the film, the perspective on rewatching it can change based on how you take the end.
Well, it's like you say when she's looking at the body, like she doesn't recognise him.
Because, of course, she'd never met that version. She'd
I
never
just
seen
thought
it.
she was like, huh? I didn't read it. Of course I didn't read it as her not recognising him, because you don't think that when you first watch it.
That's why she's scared of coincidences, because she's starting to think more and more about, hang on, is my old life coming to the surface?
Yeah.
But that's why she feels like, I feel like more than ever she's been watching me. She's following me. When she's talking to Gabe about this story she'd never told him before, about seeing someone who looked like her as a child.
And then running away, which is not quite what happened,
Which
is it, Adelaide?
Genius, because she probably is. She probably does, on a spiritual level, feel like she's watching because she knows something's different. And that's why this time she's frightened to go back there.
Yeah.
Because she knows something's different, because the tethered are linked to us in
Although
a way.
they do mention that they've never been back, they've never been to the beach.
Not to the Santa Cruz, which again is probably because she was traumatised there as a child, unquote. So her mum just was like, yeah, let's not go there. Let's not. Because her mum probably, so the kid's grandmother, was probably like, I don't really want to go there, bad memories.
Although,
but now it's like she doesn't want to go there because she doesn't want to be close to where she came out, just in case she's caught or taken back.
But you also
especially
remember...
now because she can feel something changing. She can feel a shift. So it's really quick before because I want to carry on.
Yes, Jeremiah 11:11.
So Jeremiah 11:11. The passage in the Bible is, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them." So the idea being, fucking, I'm going to do something to them that's going to shake their world, and they'll beg for me to change it, but I won't. And in this case, your fucking shadows are going to come back to take your place.
Yeah.
I won't do a damn thing about it.
Nope.
Like, I'm not going to do a damn fucking thing about it. Because again, that's the thing. I was like, why would the tethered believe in God? They didn't. Adelaide believes in God and believes that God gave her a sign, but it wasn't a sign. She just never belonged down there in the first place.
Yeah.
And now that she's there, she's acting differently than the tethered. She starts to behave like the tethered who's on the surface now, because the soul thing, the idea that they are a shadow, it just happens. It just starts to happen.
And of course, the tethered of the people around Adelaide in the surface world then obviously interact with her in the same ways.
She starts to act out differently, though, from time to time, and that sort of wakes them from... Because we presume this is the point where they've long been abandoned by the government.
Yeah.
The government have left them for a while. Maybe someone's coming back from time to time to provide clothes and clean, maybe?
Yeah.
Because everything's spotless outside of the classrooms. There's, like, sort of blood stains in the wood of the desks, but there's not, like... You know, it's not, like, gross and gore everywhere. No. And... that the escalator is still lit and there is access to the tunnels that isn't like boarded up or what have you.
Well, it could be that after Adelaide,
but again, that's open-ended.
After Red has sort of taken control, she's started to manage that stuff.
Oh, she's definitely managed something. Like, why are they all wearing red jumpsuits? Because the Hands Across America logo is a bunch of red stick figures.
Yep.
So they look like the Hands Across... When they are holding hands at the end of the movie, it's the Hands Across America logo.
Yeah.
But the reason I keep bringing this up is because Jeremiah 11:11 is on the sign. The Bible passage
out it's 11:11
on the clock. Yeah, we see it's 11:11 represented in a black flag T-shirt worn by one of the Tyler twins in the former 4 Blocks. Gabe's watching baseball. The announcer says we're tied at 11:11. Yeah, there's when say man, this, that, and the other. I'm trying to see if there's any other mentions. None of them mentioned specifically, but it's So one Reddit fan pointed out that the Jeremiah 11:11 passage could be interpreted one of two ways: the evil are the tethered who are coming for mankind, unable to escape, or the evil is the pointless suffering the tethered have to endure for the sake of humanity.
Yeah, because it is pointless. The experiment didn't work, and they just abandoned it.
They are murderous. They are villains in that sense, but they are victims of someone else's
Red is a
choice.
wronged woman.
Yeah,
like absolutely.
Well,
she has a life taken away from her.
Adelaide, the replacement Adelaide is a wronged woman, and that's why she escaped. But she escaped by making someone switch with her, not by going, I need to get out of here and tell people about what's happening. She was like, I'm just going to switch.
Two wrongness.
I can sense that she is here where I can get to her.
Yeah.
Where there is an access, and I'm going to leave, and I'm going to deal with... And what's amazing is, so, the way that Red speaks, throughout the film we sort of interpreted it maybe as she's not really ever spoken.
It's like a croaking, like barely, like she can't, like her throat can't quite form the words.
But the voice is sort of, and the voice is kind of full of these little guttural sounds that the other tethered make as well.
Yeah.
Two things about that. One, after the film was said and done, I realised that in a couple of the bits where she was emotionally strained, Adelaide also made those noises, not just at the end.
And she starts to do it more and more as the film goes on,
Yeah.
Particularly after she kills Red.
Yeah. But also... You pointed this out after the film, which I thought was genius. Of course she speaks like her throat's fucked.
She hasn't spoken for 23 years.
Yeah. And what was the last thing that happened to her before she did?
Screamed.
Yeah. And what did the doppelganger do? What did the tether do?
Oh, throttled her.
Throttled her. As a kid, if you were to be throttled like violently by... Because they sort of subtly imply that the tethered are a bit stronger, maybe just because, that they don't... unlike humanity where we can be lazy and we can overindulge in foods and saturated fats and things like that, they don't. They eat the same thing. And they're adapted to eat the same thing with each generation. So subtly implied that the tethered are stronger than we are, if by at least a fraction.
Yeah.
If someone, regardless of how small they were, throttled you and crushed your windpipe when you were a child, that's some damage that's going to stick with you forever.
Well, I mean, fucking... Let's have a look at what happens to the tethered. Tex takes a fucking fireplace poker to his forehead.
Yeah.
And survives.
Yeah.
But Abraham gets the shit beaten out of him. It's not until he gets chewed up by an outboard motor that he
God.
Which again, another great bit of setup and payoff is they set up that the outboard motor on the boat needs a
doesn't quite
smack
work.
when it cuts out. So when he's being fucking
when
grappled by
Abraham's climbing out of the water trying to pull Gabe back in at the back of the boat,
Gabe headbutts the motor and gets it started again,
which does horrible things to Abe's lower half and kills him.
Sprayed with Gabe.
It's Gabe on Gabe action.
I know, right?
Gabe sprayed by some Gabe. Right in his eye.
Fucking one of the twins is pushed off the balcony and through a glass table after getting hit in the head with a fucking putter.
Yeah.
And then gets up later on still. Like, they do some shit.
They do some nasty ass shit to these
Pluto
people.
walks backwards into
now
a burning
that's
car.
Wonderful. I love that because it's sort of, again, it's there for you to develop it yourself in terms of how the logic works, but it implies that the younger the tethered are, the more the connection's still kind of there, and it's taken a while because out of all of them, Pluto's the only one who sort of starts to copy things that Jason does at that moment.
I don't even think it's a tether thing. I think it's just Pluto just wants to play with Jason.
Yeah,
and part of that is the mimicry.
Yeah, he seems happy when he mimics him.
Yeah.
Like when he starts mimicking the fire trick in the cupboard, he's happy.
Yeah.
And then when the cupboard gets locked and they're separated, he's screeching and he's banging. He also acts more like a person when he's around Jason. He doesn't scurry and climb up stuff.
Yeah, when he's with Red, he acts like a dog.
Yeah.
Which again, Jason, sort of... But it's Jason that realises that and forces his doppelganger to... Jason is what? 10, 11,
Yeah.
if that.
He notices
forces his
that
doppelganger to kill himself.
the fact that Pluto has got like third-degree burns all up his face, and his mouth is
It's
practically
the entire
sealed
lower-
shut by like
Yeah.
the burns.
The entire lower half of his face is just burnt tissue.
Because he's probably been playing with something down below this whole time that eventually caught fire or
likes
what had
fire.
fire in it, and didn't know why he was doing it. But of
No.
course, unlike Jason's little trinket, there's just a little spark thing. Whatever Pluto's been playing with has freaking lit him up on some occasions, and he keeps doing it, and he doesn't know why he's doing it because he's just doing what is. That's morbid as hell.
But the more you think about the relationship between the tethered and the surface world, the more horrifying it is.
Yeah, it's just horror. And again, you're like, what the hell were the government hoping to achieve? Like, were they hoping to replace people with people of their own making, or were they hoping to do like this soul puppetry thing?
It was some sort of like post Cold War MK Ultra mind control style thing.
Again, they don't go into it because it's not necessary for our characters to know.
No,
we just know the government did a thing. They realised it didn't work the way they wanted. They left it.
Because Red sort of gives you the info dump, but she only knows as much as she saw.
And she thinks that God is the reason this is happening.
Yeah.
So she's not even like going,
broken.
Here's the exposition.
Yeah.
It's, here's the basics, and now I'm going to kill you. And
Of
you're
course,
like, okay.
what you later realise, like the closing shots of the movie, is Jason realises that his mother is the original Red.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's killed the original Adelaide.
Yeah.
So his mother is one of
his mother is a
things.
tethered. Yeah.
But what does that actually mean?
Well, she's mum. Like, it doesn't matter. He's only ever known mum.
You think?
And
I feel like she's shaken by it, though.
Oh, he's definitely shaken because what does he do? He immediately retreats back under his mask.
Yes.
Which he's been wearing, because they make a whole thing of like, there's sort of subtle implications that he's on the spectrum and that he's definitely got social behavioural disorders.
The twins call him weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not making sandcastles at the beach.
No.
He's making tunnels.
Yes.
Again, just another little bit of foreshadowing. But yeah, Jason is he's been wearing a mask a lot. I think I saw Winston Duke confirming something this week that it's a wolf man.
Yeah,
mask.
yeah.
Because it's definitely like a hairy beast. It's got little teeth and everything. But he's wearing it so when he feels insecure, he's like a superhero or supervillain. You know, he's wearing a mask to hide himself.
He pulls the mask down to hide himself when he feels like he needs to.
Because he has to keep being reminded, take the mask off, you're at the dinner table, and things like that. At the end, he sort of has this little realisation. I don't think Adelaide/Red sort of cottons on fully that he knows.
No.
It's more from his POV.
But also, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, whatever it means, he's unnerved because he just pulls the mask down over his face.
But also,
and looks back out onto the road, not looking at his mum.
Adelaide's mum knows. Because she says in the therapist's office, that is not my daughter.
Oh, like she doesn't know, but she feels it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we just assume that it's like, my husband's fuck up, watching our child has traumatised her, and
she's
I
not
want
the
my
girl.
daughter back.
Yeah, when you first hear it
Yeah.
at the start of the film, you're like, I want my daughter back. That's not my little girl. Like that. Oh, it's she's changed to the point where she doesn't feel the same. No. Literally.
Yeah.
She is not.
And because we don't get to sort of learn more about that relationship, really, other than that Jason obviously was close with her.
Yeah.
With his grandmother. It'd be interesting to see what that relationship was like as they grew up. Maybe the mum eventually just accepted that things were a bit different, because there's, paintings of the two of them on the wall.
Well, there's that moment where Red comes into the house first time and she's looking at the painting.
Yeah.
On the wall. She's not admiring it, she's recognising it.
Yeah. Because to her, she's like, oh, I remember us painting this. Well, me down below copying us painting this, and she's obviously like, "Oh, that's Mum," and that should have been me. Because it's obviously Adelaide a little older in the picture, like she's a bit taller, and so it's like that should have been me.
When she goes to open the closet that Pluto's trapped in, she knows that closet.
Yeah. Oh God. That monologue that establishes just the basics of "We are your shadow."
Yeah,
is so good, and apparently Lupita Nyong'o's not all-out method, but a lot of people who, when they use accents, I've done this when I've used accents in
things,
sort of stage stuff, like, you do tend to sort of speak in it all day if you're not too confident in it.
It's just a good way to maintain consistency, really.
Yeah.
Like Brad Dourif spoke in a British accent for the entirety of the Lord of the Rings shoot.
Did he?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because he wanted to make sure it was consistent. To the point where Bernard Hill, when they rapped and he started using his regular voice again, Bernard Hill thought he was putting it on.
It's like, hey, Bernard, how you doing?
Yeah.
Brad Dourif here. And you're like, wait, what? Why did you just come over to me and say your full name?
Yeah.
And that's when he choked him out and left Bernard unconscious in a corner and said, nothing like a quick strangulation to get the circulation going.
One of the most famous slashers of all time.
He's great. But yeah, it's some of the, some actors do, like, it's not an all-out method technique per se, but it's, like you say, about maintaining a consistency.
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o, on every occasion where they could, they shot Adelaide stuff one day and Red stuff another day. So when they were doing like the fireplace scene,
to go back and forth.
Yeah. So when they were doing the fireplace scene, which is great for her because it means that she can just concentrate. And same with the other actors, but obviously that scene, she has all the dialogue. So the rest of them, it's about their physicality.
Yeah.
So
and the physicalities are so different.
Oh yeah. Oh god, it's amazing. But in a sense that it's like she's got the lion's share on those days. So they would shoot I think they said they shot the fireplace conversation over like a 5-day period.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It was like 1 day for the stuff needed for the family, and 2.5 days for the stuff needed for the doppelgangers. But Lupita Nyong'o would talk like Red, and move like Red all day because, again, like you say, consistency. It's just easier to do. She apparently damaged her voice a bit on the first 2 days.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And then kind of found the comfortable spot.
Yeah,
because it's based on an actual condition she utilised it from. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's about when the throat and the muscles of the throat have not been used for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's what she based it on. And then obviously certain vocal quirks are added that comply with the other actors and what noises they're making as their tethered counterparts. And,
yeah.
And just to laugh, like that really sort of forced, stagey laugh. Some people are saying that there's a communism and sort of like, the idea of Russian interference subtlety to everything that's going on.
Possibly.
Not directly, not like this is a Russian thing, but like that allegory is used there, like America and the people under America steering it, because they claim that Adelaide's facial scars by the end look sort of like a sickle on one cheek and stuff. I think
that's a bit of a
bit of a stretch, but it's. I think this is another one of those where, like, in a few months, Jordan Peele on like the home video release will do like a variety interview or whatever.
Oh yeah, I reckon
like he did with Get Out, and say like, right, here are some of the theories. Here's what I think about them.
Yeah, because that was a really good thing.
Yeah, because in it he sort of goes like, yeah, we did think about this, and yeah, we did think about this, and no, that's nonsense. But I'm fascinated that you came up with that.
Yeah,
and that's not what we thought, but that's really cool, and I can see where you got that. And it was just like, oh, this is a really cool way to deal with it. Us is totally going to have a similar kind of conversation going the other way, I think. Let's talk about the ending, because that ending, again, like I said, we had a different interpretation of it, in a sense. But that, to me, got me interested, because anyone who's listening to this who's seen it, who wants to talk about it in email in the next couple of episodes, or just talk with us on Twitter. Oi, Minnie! Dog's being a bit of an arsehole, in case you can't tell. Talk to us on Twitter about it. The ending, when we get the flashback at the end as Adelaide's driving away, and we see the full, which is a great idea, we see the full events of the prologue.
Yeah.
I took that to mean that it was just, as a thematic thing, as a narrative thing, that was just revealing to us the full story, and that Adelaide knew this all along. So when we watch it again, we can look out for signs of, oh, that's why she's acting this way.
Yeah, yeah.
But you took it to mean that it was sort of like these events have kind of brought it back to the surface. I feel like she was remembering it. So she had sort of settled into, oh no, I'm the original. Like she'd sort of settled into that in a way.
I almost feel like she completely believed that she had seen her double and fled.
Which I can totally buy as well, because like the whole idea of them being connected in some spiritual way would mean that she does sort of remember that night on the boardwalk. She was doing it down below, but she was doing it down below because someone was doing it up above.
Yeah.
So she would possibly have a mental memory of that. So but that to me is interesting, because it means that the film can sort of be interpreted in those two ways on a revisit, which is, she doesn't know, and it kind of comes more to the surface as the events of this story unfold.
Yeah.
But the other interpretation could be watching it with the idea of, okay, so she's a tethered, she knows she's a tethered, she's got a suspicion something's going to rumble her on this particular occasion, and her panic is due to that, not due to the childhood trauma. And I wonder how Lupita played it. I wonder if she played it like so it was ambiguous, so either of those two sort of perspectives could work, or whether she picked one. All I know is it's made me excited to rewatch it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where, depending on how extended the features are in the home release, it's one I'm definitely going to dig into.
Yeah.
Because, like Get Out, I think there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah. There's definitely quite a bit going on that, on first viewing, you just don't... I mean, like I said, after Chud. I didn't notice that.
Nope.
I saw the cover and I went, oh, Chud.
Yeah, I clocked it and thought, that's a funny gag.
On reflection...
That's Jordan Peele shouting out to trashy 80s horror.
On reflection, holy shit, he just told us what the movie's about.
Yeah.
He just told us what the film was about.
Yeah.
In the opening shot, and we didn't even realise.
Yeah.
And the Hands Across America commercial and all that stuff, like, as that's happening, you're like, this is going to play a part in the story somehow. Of course it is.
Yeah,
why would he be showing us this?
Yeah, how's this going to play in?
But you just don't know how until you get
feeling
toward the end.
Feeling all those bits come together.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying.
I can't wait to revisit it. I can't wait for the home release. I think it should be recognised in the award circuit later in the year going into next year.
I mean,
if it isn't, it's a crime.
Get Out was any... I mean, Lupita Nyong'o should get a Best Actress nod.
Oh, God, yeah.
Hands down.
No, do you know... No, Lupita Nyong'o should get a Best Actress nod, as should Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, yeah.
They should nominate her for both.
Why not? Why not? Yeah, very good. Very, very
Could you imagine that? Lupita Nyong'o for Us.
And Lupita Nyong'o
for Us. I also love the double meaning, the fact that it is about America and what it means to be an American citizen and your freedoms and rights, and that the title itself is US.
Yeah.
When she says, because she says,
she asks, "Who are you people?"
She says, "Who are you people?"
She says, "We're Americans."
We're Americans.
That's like, so good.
Oh my God. Which again, I saw this week. Someone said normally you'd say like, "What are you?" She doesn't. She says, "Who are you?" Because she knows full fucking well who they are.
Yeah.
She knows. She's just sort of coming to terms with. Wait a minute. Oh my God! I've just realised while she's talking about how like they gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, and like I gave birth to a monster, and gave birth to a young young boy, and they had to cut you open, and they took good care of you. So she had a C-section to give birth to Jason,
and like I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
I you could definitely.
Which is why she hates her tethered children. Which is why she despises them. But they're part of her life because they're part of Adelaide's life.
That her physical relationship with Abraham was not necessarily consensual.
Well, yeah, because the tethered have never really thought about it before, but she has been thinking about it.
Yeah,
she's different, and she's saying like she found her Prince Charming. I was given Abraham, and it's just like. Okay, is that just slagging him off? Oh no, you're implying that I did not choose this.
No,
but
it happened
repeatedly. He has done things to me and has given me children, and that was not my choice. No. It was yours. You made that happen. It's like, oh God, like fuck. So no wonder she spent like 20 odd years, 22, 23 years, getting them all to kind of wake up a bit and realise. We need to change.
Yeah.
And it looks like she did it visually. Like, she didn't obviously sit everyone down and go, here is a plan. I sound like Voldemort when I'm trying to do an impression of Red.
Don't do that.
Nagini, there is a plan to kill Harry Potter. Like, she's over time, she's like made that mural and stuff. She's sort of put it in all the tethered's heads. We are going to do this.
Yeah.
And then she's obviously got to the point where they're all disconnected just enough that they all could take part in this uprising.
And but also killing
once their tethered once their human counterpart is dead, they're free. Now they're
free to do what?
Tell everyone that they exist. Prove to the world that they exist. I love the fact classic horror movie ending as well of just like, well, told in a slightly more kind of artsy way instead of like the monster's still alive. It's the monster unquote won, and that's the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
Here they are. and the news cameras are coming in their helicopters to film it. And we're going to see the outcome? No, because we don't need to. Because people are saying, is this part 1 of 2? Like,
Nope.
Doesn't need to be. You could, if he had a great idea for it, and out of anybody who would, it would be Jordan Peele. If in a few years he went, do you know what? I'm going to follow up Us, and here's what happened next.
Them.
Them.
There's too many thems.
Is that the fake one from Grindhouse? It's...
No.
Grindhouse Edgar Wright directed a fake horror trailer.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I know there's this Thanksgiving, which is the Eli Roth one.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Light meat, dark meat, all will be carved.
The thing is, I would watch that.
Thanksgiving. So yeah. Us. It's great. Go see it. But you should have already seen it if you're listening to this, because we just spoiled the fuck out of it. Let's have a look at some emails we've been wanting to catch up on.
And I can't believe that Lupita Nyong'o was actually a giant worm the whole time.
Gigantic
hi.
worm.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
You just clicked
Hi.
the time code to get to the email. Sorry, we were just wrapping up a spoiler for Us.
Yeah, we've not done emails for a couple of weeks, so we've got a couple to catch up on.
Ooh.
This one. This is 2 weeks old.
Oh. Happy birthday.
This comes in from Jack.
Hey, Jack.
He says, hello. Once again. Again. You big damn lads. In an effort to distract myself from a recent heartbreak, I found myself at my local Odeon watching Captain Marvel with my best mate.
Aww.
I found it was a great time and, might I say, a very, very memeable. Nick Fury was practically the bedrock of the film in my opinion and a source of great joy and hilarity for me. On a more Doctor Who related note.
Matt and Chris, two lifelong Doctor Who fans, reluctantly talk about Doctor Who. Boom.
Definitely inspired by Chris's recently uploaded review of Doctor Who Series 5. Pardon me.
Did he write that?
No,
How did he spell it?
I unfortunately don't have much of the second Doctor's run in my collection. However, I do have the War Games. Is it strange that 14-year-old me was completely entranced by it despite its very, very lengthy length?
It's lengthy length.
I don't think that's weird at all. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think that was the first second Doctor story I owned that was a second Doctor story as well, actually.
Oh, okay.
Probably around the age of 14, 15, 16, or whatever it was it came out.
The first...
I had him in the 3 Doctors and in the 5 Doctors.
The first visual one
Oh, and the 2 Doctors by that point.
Was Two of the Sidemen.
Yeah, if I lent you a copy when I first watched it. Because it was the... No, you must have had it on DVD at some point.
I had the VHS originally.
You must... Did you have the DVD?
Yeah.
Did you or your dad have the DVD?
I got the DVD.
Because the first release, wasn't it? It wasn't the special edition from
it was
Visitations. That's when I first saw it.
Early Vidfire.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not weird to be entranced by the War Games. It's amazing. And again, on my first watch, I thought, okay, like, I like it, but it's a bit long. And on my rewatch for this, which you'll see in the Series 6 video review that Lou and I have done, which we've already filmed, and you're going to see it probably, like, mid-April, we bloody loved it. And I really enjoyed it on my revisit to it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. As ever, like a big story, it could have done with maybe 2 less episodes, but I don't think it loses anything in its story by being as long as it is. It just could be tightened a little. That's about it.
Well, what couldn't?
Giggity.
Oh! Didn't really know how to end this, so I guess I will just stop at some point. End. Thanks, Jack. Short and sweet.
That's how endings work, Jack, and I like it. And I'm glad you enjoyed Captain Marvel by Jingo. Meme it as much as you can for the very short, foreseeable future.
No memes.
Memes are not a thing anymore.
No memes.
Oh, God.
No memes.
Saw a wonderful tweet talking about that just basically described the guy looking over his shoulder at the other girl.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a tweet that just described a scenario in full. And it came out last night around the time of the announcement of the Article 13 thing. It's just like,
excellent.
That's funny, but also depressing.
This one comes in from Jacob! Says, hello.
That's what sound he makes when you put the game cartridge in. Jacob!
Hello, Big Damn Cokers.
Wait, what?
It's been a while.
Wait, what did you just accuse us of?
So I've seen Captain Marvel 3 times.
Thricely.
And it's bloody good. It is, isn't it? It is, isn't it, Jacob?
I should hope that you felt that, considering you'd seen it 3 times.
It has a brilliant quote-unquote villain, and I hope we see him again, but I unfortunately doubt it. Brie Larson is great as Carol, if not a bit wooden at times, which is totally fine. I did not feel the same, Jacob. I apologise. But yeah, she is great. Sam Jackson is brilliant as always, and the de-aging isn't distracting at all, and honestly looks like 90s Sam Jackson.
It's like he's just stepped out of the 90s into the sphere of the today.
And it Endgame beautifully. I think you missed out a couple of words there, Jacob. Talking about Endgame, the new trailer was excellent, and I'm so bloody excited for it to come out next month. Go! What Marvel villain would you like to see return? Lots of love, Jacob. Jason!
It looks like there might be scenes on the raft in Endgame. It seems that way, or at least a spaceship. There's the stuff of Clint running away from an explosion in metal corridors. And the fact that Ant-Man seems to be leaping through parts of that explosion in what looks like it could be an office, because there's like a headphone jack and concrete and pencils. So if the raft is going to feature... During the breakout or chaos going on in the raft, can we have a nod to Disassemble? Was it Disassembled or Breakout? Breakout. Before you get bum rushed at the Wild Wild West. Or, if you want to quote Neil Cicierega, break out before you get bees. If there's going to be some of the raft, give us a mini homage to Breakout and have a few past villains that are incarcerated be involved in a breakout. Just for a scene. No, because that'd be too much explanation for things. Do something with the leader. Give Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
Give him his day, please.
The Abomination.
I want Abomination to rock up because it will not only make people go... It'll not only be another homage to Phase 1 like Red Skull was, but it'll make people go, oh yeah, the Incredible Hulk. And also, maybe that's the thing that wakes Hulk up, or at least brings him back out to be like, oh, fine! Like, Hulk comes out and beats the shit out of Abomination. That would be pretty cool. Like, and also it'd be an easy way to sneak Tim Roth into the movie, because you'd just be filming it on a soundstage quietly.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to publicly go, Tim Roth's in the film. It would be like Red Skull. It'd just happen and we go, oh shit!
They kept that under wraps really well.
Yeah.
And they've kept everything about Endgame under wraps really well.
8 minutes of footage given to the trailer people. 8 minutes of 3 hours. That's all they've got. We know nothing about what this film's about. Aside from what you can possibly glean online. It's less than a month away, guys. Don't push it.
Do we want to see Ronan if there's a Captain Marvel midquel? A Captain Marvel sequel set before...
Oh, Ronan... I thought I said Ronan. I was like, what? We're getting... That's Clint in this film. I'd like to see Ronan in that film, but I don't think he should be the focus. Again, I think Siege should be so... Or make him the focus, but he's not like the villain. He's the one of 2 or 3 kind of thingies. The Kree... The Kree sort of extremists should be in that film for sure, because it's tied into her story.
Extremists.
Terrible. Yeah, I mean... Ronan got a film, and he was one of the few sort of Marvel villains that hasn't been forgotten because he was just sort of there. Like, when you think of Guardians of the Galaxy, the moment someone says, name something from the film aside from the Guardians of the Galaxy, they're probably going to go, the dude with the big hammer and the blue face. What's the face? With the blue face.
Blue face.
All the people with blue faces.
The blue face group.
The guy who says, what a bunch of a-holes.
Blue face people.
Other than that, I mean, if you're going to do the raft, that's an excuse to bring in a bunch of like random little cameos, like Batroc and people like that.
Zemo.
I don't know what Zemo's going to do during a breakout.
I don't know.
Execute January day. Fuck, he's not here, is he? No. Okay, goodbye.
No, but I think Zemo could. I think you could do something with Zemo.
Who else could fittingly recur after their previous appearances? You could use Ghost. You could use her to infiltrate the raft, for example.
You could use God damn it!
Ghost is totally the villain for Iron Man VR,
Mordo.
by the way. Mordo.
Baron Mordo.
Maybe not for Avengers, but absolutely for
but
Strange
he should
2.
be coming back. Yeah.
Oh, for Strange 2, abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
Mostly so that all the tie-in merch can stop just referring to the character as Mordo and showing just Chiwetel Ejiofor-esque recreations in a green robe. I'm like, can he be Baron Mordo now?
Baron Mordo, please.
Have Chiwetel grow like a little beard and wear a stupid Doctor Strange cape and be evil? That'd be great, please.
Yes, please.
That'd be fun.
Yes, please.
Just more Chiwetel Ejiofor in everything. In fact, if his character from Serenity can just rock up in these films for no reason, that'd be great.
That'd be alright. Who else do you want to see?
This is a noble death. This is victim is sliding chest first down a sword.
Who do you want to see him? Who do you want to see first? Who do you want to see first? Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see?
I want to see my wife and kids.
Who do you want to see?
When will you let me see them?
Make their first appearance in an upcoming Marvel movie.
Oh, snap.
What villains would you pair off?
Let's pick some of the movies we know are coming. And sort of gravitate toward their villains, as it were.
Shang-Chi has no good villains.
Well, Shang-Chi, I think you redeem the shit out of the Hand.
Yeah.
You redeem the shit out of the Hand, you make them part of the plot, but you make the villain a rando Marvel villain.
Yeah.
Because the finale would be a bit boring if it was just Kung Fu Man fights ninjas. We've seen that in films.
Yeah.
In the words of Jordan Peele, I've seen that movie. So, have Shang-Chi face off against somebody like freaking... I don't know, like...
Razor Fist!
Jokes aside, the Owl? Like, go Crime Family? Like, do the Owl?
So maybe like transplant some of the New York gang stuff to...
Silvermane.
To the...
Hammerhead!
To East Asia.
Fuck, Hammerhead! Well, with Shang-Chi, I'm assuming the story's probably going to take place in America, because they can't help themselves, but... That kind of level. Or you know, who are the villains who are a bit more international, who go from place to place?
Madam Hydra.
Oh, MODOK. An AIM.
MODOK. Well, we've had AIM.
We have had AIM.
But imagine AIM.
But we've not had AIM, let's be honest.
Imagine
we've
AIM.
had Aldrich Killian's Advanced Idea Mechanics. We've not had AIM.
Let's have AIM reimagined under a rebuilt Aldrich Killian as MODOK.
I mean, I'd watch Guy Pearce's giant head float around.
I'd watch Giant Pearce's giant head float around.
I'd watch Giant Pearce's guy head float around with little arms and legs.
Listen, I've been up since 4 this morning and very, very confused.
You want to show off kung fu moves against something that would actually require you to be on it?
Yeah.
Fucking Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Doc Ock in a Shang-Chi movie.
Just
like punching away whilst 6 arms and 2 stubby legs try and punch at him. Would be quite funny to watch.
Razor Fist, though.
Taser Fist!
How does Razor Fist wipe his butt? How? How does he do it?
True story. More on this at 11. 11.
I want to see Shumagarath.
Alright, he's a fighting game character.
But it wouldn't be like he's the main villain. It'd be like the James Bond style action cold open of Doctor Strange 2. Would be Doctor Strange fighting, like, sealing Shumagarath back into his dark dimension or wherever he's from.
Oh, God, yeah. Physically depicted on the earthly plane as them shoving it in a cupboard.
Yeah.
Like, just to watch people shoving, like, Wong holding the doors down as these squiddly limbs just stick out of the gaps. He's like, if you would hurry up, that'd be great.
There's an awful lot of that in the Jason Aaron Doctor Strange run.
Yeah, I should hope
of that kind of stuff. It's really, really fun. And Chris Bachalo does a lot of the art as well, so it's that kind of sort of exaggerated, sort of fluid, cartoony, kinetic looking stuff.
Who would you put in Black Panther 2?
Claw again. No, we can't do it.
I mean, it would be freaking ballsy if they were something like,
here's
Mech Andy Serkis in a red onesie with a pink face.
Who would I do in Black Panther?
I love that since that version of the character's been out, they've kept him consistently South African in all adaptations since, because he's in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but he's German.
Yes,
and he's voiced by Mark Hamill.
Yes,
but ever since Serkis showed up in Age of Ultron, any iteration of the character has now been overtly South African.
Yeah.
Right down to the excruciatingly horrific Lego Marvel Hero Superheroes 2, which I've been playing through. Oh. You've got the little red and purple with metal silver spoon arm claw walking around talking like this. He's like, I'm going to get you, Black Panther. Just like, that's great. I love that.
I do like that.
Who would you put in Black Panther? Because the obvious sort of thing would be like, oh, Killmonger for the first one, you've put Claw in it as well. Oh my god, you've got to do White Ape. You've got to do M'Baku.
But
no, he's in it, and the character's been recontextualised, and for the better. So
also Winston Duke.
Yeah, he's not a villain. He's an antagonist of T'Challa, but he's not a villain. He's an enemy. He's more frenemy now.
He's a thick daddy frenemy.
He's the thick daddy frenemy. Frenemy.
No!
Yeah, we're thinking far too much about Winston Duke and his delicious thighs.
I would like to see Black Panther White Tiger.
Yeah.
And have White Tiger as sort of a antagonist who Black Panther takes under his wing and is like, no, this is the true way.
Yeah. Gotta get some of that kind of flow, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Again, with Black Panther, though, you could go more James Bondy with Black Panther for the next one if you wanted. Like, he's now doing international, like, outreach stuff. You could have T'Challa on a world mission. You take the Afrofuturism flavour of Wakanda and you take it into other locations for the sequel.
Yeah, and you could go...
So it retains its flavour, but it's about the ongoing expansion of Wakanda's mission. Because if it was just all in Wakanda again, what was the point of the ending statement of the first film where they're like, we need to do more with the world?
But you could do something like have...
Plus the espionage shit in Soul or whatever it is in Black Panther is really good.
Yes. You could have something like...
Tonight Guerrero just throwing a wig.
A resurgent... Yes.
So good.
A resurgent Hydra sort of doing human trafficking stuff and Black Panther trying to get it or something like that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. It also means that Nakia would be central to the plot because Nakia is all about freaking rescuing people who don't have anyone to stand up for them.
Exactly.
So that'd be awesome. God damn it. I just want to see all these movies. I mean, Mysterio's in the next Spider-Man. The sky's the fucking limit at this point.
The Eternals. I don't know shit about the Eternals, but they're doing it.
The Eternals has probably got to be from like a more human perspective, hasn't it? Like it's got to be a Transformers-y kind of, and here's what this world is about. Come with us, relatable human characters.
I know the main dude is a Prince Adam of Eternia looking motherfucker called Icarus.
Yeah.
And I know Cersei.
Yeah. But they want.
She was on the Avengers for a while.
I don't think they'll be your main characters. I think there'll be a window into it character.
But I've no idea what the fuck they're doing with...
Because we've not had that. We've not had a Marvel film where the main character is just somebody who bears witness to this stuff.
No.
It's always the hero or the heroes.
No, that's true.
So that would be an interesting new way to do it. Like if they hadn't done Incredible Hulk, I would expect a Hulk movie to be about Rick Jones, for example.
They could have done it with Thor from James Foster's point of view, but they front-loaded it with a bunch of Thor stuff.
Yeah.
If they'd have just started it cold open with...
Then researching stuff, and this dude just crash lands in Nevada or whatever.
And then put all the Asgard stuff later on as sort of like, he's crazy. And it's like, no, actually he was telling the truth.
Yeah. Because they do kind of borrow from the Ultimate Thor a bit in the, okay, yeah, you're a god. Okay, you're a god,
I guess. Whatever you say.
Crazy man with... Oh, you actually are summoning lightning. Oh, okay. There's something going on here.
They could have done that.
Is this a schizophrenic science experiment gone wrong? What's happening, guys? Oh, no, he is a god.
The thing we thought...
They bleached his eyebrows.
Is they couldn't have... God, those eyebrows. They couldn't have done that from a marketing standpoint because you have to get people to buy the idea first.
Yeah, I get it.
So you couldn't have it as the reveal of the movie. So that's the thing that concerns me about doing that kind of feel with a movie. But it might have to do that with the Eternals because...
Well, people might buy it a bit more now because they'll see
the Eternals.
They'll see Marvel Studios and they'll go, okay.
The Eternals.
Like, there's some superhero-y, otherworldly sci-fi shit going on. Like, take us into it, random new human character.
They've got away with Guardians of the Galaxy twice. And there's a third one coming, so... I think the sky's the... Yeah, like you say, the sky's the limit.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
Higher, further, faster, more.
Oh! More.
More next week!
Yes! If you want to listen to the Big Damn Cast, you're already doing it, but if you want more, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and the podcast app completely free! If you prefer to stick it in a tab while you're browsing and looking at other things, you filth! Then you can listen along on YouTube on the Big Damn channel. Matt does Adventures in Backlogging, and I stream from team to team on twitch.tv/BigDamnStream. Video game nonsense for your eyes, ears, and possibly your neck. And you can tweet us and get in touch with us anytime at BigDamnCast on Twitter and BigDamnContact@gmail.com on the old pigeon mail. But before we go, this pink ball has some wise words. What? Okay, I'm just gonna stop record. Oh god.